And welcome to the PPBG Gamescast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
And we are the passionate playing video gamers. In today's episode, we're going to announce our Games of the Year for 2016. We're only 3 months behind. Still announced Game of the Year for 2016. Talk about the first week success for Nintendo Switch and if they're able to continue the momentum. Also talk about the Shadow of War gameplay footage, the 16-minute reveal from March 8th. But we're going to start with Mass Effect Andromeda. And did I pronounce that correctly, Rich?
Sounded correct.
Sounded correct. On a little test run that I could not pronounce, supposedly, like Star Trek.
It's not my fault.
So, Mass Effect Andromeda releases next Tuesday, the 21st.
Does you have EA Early Access to Origins?
EA Early Access. Do you have Early Access?
No, I'm an Xbox gamer, so I will not be part of that program.
Well, thank you for your input on EA Access.
That's usually what I hear.
Yes. Take us 5 minutes to get to our first topic.
That's usually the second thing I hear.
Yeah. We're skipping foreplay. We're getting right into it. Mass Effect Andromeda. So the single-player campaign, what is it about? So the story is humanity is planning to populate new homeworlds in the Andromeda Galaxy as part of a strategy called the Andromeda Initiative. So during the game, it spans an entire galaxy, encompassing dozens of star systems and hundreds of planets, but you won't be able to explore every single planet. The difference with the single-player with the characters is you pick between 6 different character classes. You assign any skills you want and builds towards a specialty over the course of the game. Because before, in the previous 3 games, you have to choose between 6 different classes and the powers are already related.
3 bases and then 3 that are in between each of the other 3.
So what are your expectations of what you've seen or heard so far of Mass Effect Andromeda? And Rich, I know you're a big Mass Effect fan.
Yeah, I'm going to try to leave out any kind of spoilers, storyline, all that kind of stuff. But what I've seen of the gameplay footage, it seems like it's very reminiscent of a reboot of Mass Effect 1, which I like. I liked a lot of the RPG elements compared to just the shooting mechanics they had in 2 and especially 3, which I thought was kind of dumbed down on that system. Still a great game, don't get me wrong. Despite everybody hating the ending, it was still a solid 9 game regardless.
Of the first one or the third one?
The third one.
Oh, okay.
But I did really... The first one... Because I'm a KOTOR fanboy, so the first one really hit me with, this is their version of KOTOR, which I know they did both games, but it was, their IP, slightly different world, no lightsabers, of course, but it seems like they're trying to harken back to that, but use some of the things that they learned from doing the second one especially.
And Mo, I know you don't have too much experience, but you played the first one and half of the second one?
Half of the second one. I couldn't finish the second one. Yeah, I mean, I like what they're building on. I like what I've seen so far. I am a big fan of KOTOR 2. I love the hell out of that game.
Also or 2?
TWO or TOO?
Both.
Sorry,
both games.
Thank you. The right answer, too. Also.
Yeah, also. No, I do like where they're going with the game. I do like what I've seen so far. Watching some of the powers that they're how they're initiating and showing off the skills and some of the power sets is really interesting to me. I want to see more. That's as much as I have. I really don't have much to add on as much as Rich has.
What do you think of the first game though?
No, I loved it. I thought it was great. The story. Building on that storyline and just going forward with it and kind of putting that forward it was pretty amazing to me. I love the first game. I wish I finished the second one and third one actually. I'll have to go buy it on Steam and just play it on PC. I think it's gonna be the easiest thing for me. So
why are you buying Andromeda? You played the first one, half of the second one.
Because I feel it's a new story, something I can jump into now where I don't have to go and recap. I know like some of the story from the third one just because I've seen a few of the videos. I know about the what they've called the 3 endings, but I don't really the way that
there's only one ending.
The way
and it is, and I know everybody's gonna fault because I'm not thinking what you think I'm thinking, but it's easily one of the best endings in all of literature, if my theory is correct. And it's not my theory, but I'm putting it forward.
Which theory?
The indoctrination theory.
How much time do you have? If you want to listen down and so get some popcorn, get soda, lay on the couch, spend 6 hours with
If
Rich.
people comment below and they really want this, then I will find a time when Steve's got 8 hours available for me to sit up here and explain it. But
Yeah, I'm not watching that. I got like 4 games to play each week, so it's not gonna
just run into the background while you're grinding out stuff for a new shield. It's fine.
That's the one thing I do like about Andromeda is you don't have to play the first 3 to jump in. So
Right.
if you're not familiar with the series, it's been over 5 years since the third one
Yeah,
came out. So you don't have to play those for like, oh, do I need to play all 3 to play Andromeda? Absolutely not. It's one of my top 3 favorite game franchises is Mass Effect. Again, the ending, I understand. I didn't mind ABC choice.
I totally did.
That was fine with me. Again,
That's why I tried so hard to find a reason why that made sense.
even though I invested over 130 hours in all 3 games, I'm actually curious to see how long Andromeda will take because the Mass Effect, each game takes about 40 to 50 hours to complete. This one sounds larger, so I'm curious and a lot more dialogue, more planets, and how long it will take, especially with all these games coming out. But the most recent unveiled at PAX, the multiplayer component. Similar to Horde mode, how it is a team of 4 players survives 7 rounds, completing objectives or simply eliminating waves of varied enemies. When it starts out, you adjust your loadout by picking a race, 2 weapons, and 3 powers. Then you'll be able to level up through each wave to get stronger options. Sounds like this is different from what it was with Mass Effect. What did you think of the multiplayer in Mass Effect 3, Rich?
Badly implemented. I think that's why when they started doing patches, they eventually took out its effect on the main storyline stuff. Because I think it should be a single-player experience. I know why they're going that way. I have nothing against...
Why are they going that way?
Because it's a good way to get microtransaction money. So, and I have no problem with the competitive online multiplayer kind of gaming community. It's just not one I participated in. You're not wrong for doing that. I'm not wrong for avoiding it. It's just my particular taste. For them, I think the business decision came down to maybe we can get it in tournaments, but we can certainly get you to pay for extra packs to unlock perks. And I think that's a waste.
So I know with the multiplayer you won't really partake, but Mo...
I will. I'll jump in full hard. Like just that's my mode. I like multiplayer.
Going hard?
Like going hard, exactly.
And that's why...
Or go home.
No, but when we talked about Destiny, you don't mind grinding for gear and loot and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Steve and I, we want to understand what's going on, so we'll probably try it.
Yeah.
I know Mass Effect 3, you played a lot more than I did. I finally gave up. When I finally heard that it really didn't make that much of a difference on the ending, I gave up and just finished single player. You kept going, and then when I finally told you, and you're like, really? And I remember that's when you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't need that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I saw in the multiplayer, segment that they showed, nobody gets excluded in leveling up their character, whatever character you decide to go through. Nobody's competing against each other. It's actually a team-based system where everybody gets experience, and I like that. It's a good implementation. It was done in Uncharted 4, and it worked great in Uncharted 4 for the survival mode. That it's pretty similar, and I love the hell out of the game. It's exciting. It's except Uncharted 4 is 3 people only, and then on this one it's a total of 4. So I will be jumping into that. I love co-op. Anything co-op online, I'm down for.
But would you need the single player experience if the mechanics for multiplayer are there? Do you need the single player?
For me, I'm buying the game for the single player experience and the story. But the fact that they're adding multiplayer is a plus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus for me. So I can see myself switching once I'm done playing like storyline. I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut it off right here. You know what? Let me throw a couple matches into multiplayer. That's the kind of guy that I am, and I like those multiplayer games. I don't want to. I can see myself doing that with this game and not jumping to another game to play multiplayer. I can see myself going from storyline to multiplayer, get a few matches in before I even go to bed. So
and then have time for Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Yakuza,
everything. I'm still playing everything right now, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. I like the implementation of it. That's just me though.
And the videos that I saw that they showed over the weekend is the levels. It looks like they have a verticality because you can take advantage of the jetpack.
Yeah.
Because I know in Gears of War, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Horde mode with Gears of War. It's more gives many enemies on, but this verticality, use that jetpack, trying to go up higher on the levels. The one thing I do love that Rich and I, again, the multiplayer, it does not affect the single player story in any significant way.
Yeah.
Is you earn unspecified rewards that you can use when sending NPC allies on strike missions in single player set in real time. So what that means is you have allies, send them out to a mission. It'll say it'll take 2 hours, 3 hours to complete. And based off your multiplayer, you'll be able to use rewards to be able to increase your success rate on those missions. But it's not going to be like Mass Effect 3, where you have to get the galactic readiness on the multiplayer to be able to choose which ending or how it affects the ending.
Yeah, it'll make it easier to get higher level loot, right?
Oh, that was actually a thing in Mass Effect 3?
Yeah.
Oh,
At first, and then they patched it out. That's what I was saying. When I told him they
that
patched
would
it
have pissed
out,
me off.
No.
That would have
that's when
pissed
he
me
stopped
off.
playing, yeah.
Yeah, that would have pissed me off.
Because in the single player, you get as much readiness as you can, but you need the multiplayer to get the best ending at when it first launched.
And you had to have over a certain number to get like the better ending. So it was one of those. A good way to get so many points was certain levels in multiplayer would give you more of a multiplier there. And,
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
So I love what they're doing. You get rewards to send out to use with your allies on strike missions.
Yeah.
It's similar to Dragon Age Inquisition. I know in Dragon Age you have allies and groups that you send out to do missions, and it actually says it in real time. It says it's going to take 5 hours, 30 minutes, 2 hours. And it's in real time, 2 hours in real time, and then it'll tell you if you get gold or supplies for your group when they complete the missions. And I think you can send like 3 groups out at a time. And I loved it. It was great for Dragon Age, again, trying to incorporate the team, make the entire universe expanded on the land for Dragon Age, and same with Mass Effect. Send out your groups all at once.
See, that's right there, that time wait, how they implemented the Inquisition. If that's the ordeal with Mass Effect, while those timers, if there's a 3-hour timer, you're damn right I'm jumping onto multiplayer just to wait for it. That's what I would do. Like, especially, I did that with Dragon Age Inquisition. I would jump on multiplayer just to wait for that timer to come down. And I'd be like, I gotta go, guys. It's time single player.
Supplies and then just send them out.
Yeah, and then go back and play. So I could see myself doing that. I mean, that's just... I don't know if that's a creative tactic or not, but it works. It's going to work for me.
I'm extremely excited for Andromeda. I'm not sure what has happened like with the hype. I think it's been delayed so many times that I guess I'm not too excited. I guess I'm just too stuck with Zelda. That's been in my mind.
I think that's on your mind, yeah.
Every single day is Zelda.
I watched that first 45 minutes walkthrough, and I watched that earlier today, and I was stopping in the middle. I was by myself, and I was saying out loud, I can't wait for this game, which is an odd thing for me to do, because I usually don't
Did you have a box of tissues with you while you watched?
I didn't. I don't usually game like you do, but...
Go through a box. When I'm playing Zelda, I need a box of tissues with me.
I still want to make a joke about the only box you're familiar with, but...
It's not very nice. And Rich, what is your favorite Mass Effect game? Out of the 3, which one's your favorite?
I'm going to say the mechanics and the potential, the first one, but the execution, the second one.
What do you mean the execution, the second one?
The second one, storytelling, they had enough RPG elements that I didn't think that they threw out all the good parts of the first one, but it was a dramatic shift from what I was used to from the first one. But they expanded things out, adding in loyalty missions. I thought the acting was a little bit better.
Which looks like loyalty missions is back in Andromeda.
Yeah. So I think those were all important innovations, and those are things that I thought that they were moving not just the IP forward, but what they could do with it. And I thought that was a beneficial way. You actually care. I remember getting to the end, and there were times if you hadn't done certain things, or if you sent certain people on...
The suicide mission.
Yeah, if you sent certain people into the tunnel or around that corner, they would die. But if you'd use the other person, they're more suited for that duty. And you'd go in there, and you could have even the main character, Shepard, could die. And you finish the game, you won the last mission, but the main character's dead. and you could have it where everybody survives. So I like that.
I'm sorry.
The hell are you laughing about?
Having a South Park moment. You said duty.
Oh,
Duty.
I just sound like, what the fuck are you laughing about? Or they're just smiling. The first Mass Effect was probably my favorite. The second one's very character driven. Well, the first one is more as an overview whole of the entire universe of the story, and the third one is all battle, with the resolution with the Queen.
Well, and I think of the second one with the DLC too. So
okay.
Hearing about the broker and all that stuff. Again, not giving away spoilers, but number 2 had left some of the main cast from the first game behind, or only had shown up as cameos. The DLC expanded out their stories. That made it a more full experience. So
Zeusy wanted to get on camera.
What's up, Zeusy?
And Mo, did you enjoy the first one?
I did enjoy the first one. I really liked the first one. Like to this day now that we're talking about it, I wish I could finish the second one now. I'm just like, damn.
I've heard the second one is the favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like that's like the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
In the series, it can have a dark ending.
Although, like I said, if I'm right about what I hope is the basis for that horrible ending that we all hate from 3, one of the greatest pieces of literature is that entire trilogy, and 3 would be necessary to get there.
He's crazy. He has his own theory. There's a lot
It's
of
not my
theories.
own. There's a lot of people online that subscribe to it. I didn't come up with it. I'm just pushing it forward.
But we're all going to be picking up Andromeda. Again, even though I'm not too hyped, but I'm still very excited. Again, one of my top 3 franchises in history, Mass Effect. So I'm very excited. I'll be picking it up as well. I don't know when, depending when I'm done with Zelda. Hopefully.
So you're going to wait?
Hopefully. It might be next weekend when I'm completed with Zelda. I only do one game at a time. One game at a time. That's all I can handle. So we'll all be picking up Mass Effect Andromeda. We will have our hands-on reactions and impressions during the next few weeks of how we feel about the game. I'm more curious about Mo, what he thinks. I know Rich and I were sold already on the series.
I'm going to pick it up day one. I'll start playing it day one next week. Yeah.
So please let us know in the comments below if you're hyped up and if you'll be picking up Mass Effect Andromeda.